Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And it's time for another daily dose of Dismal Disney. We're going to talk about that DirectTV and Disney situation. Apparently, there's been a resolution.
Yes.
But it sounds like Disney strong-armed DirectTV.
Well, I don't think they strong-armed DirecTV, but they're winning again. Remember the Charter Spectrum deal where they did this, and then at the end, they ended up working out a deal that Charter Spectrum would buy Disney Plus and like ESPN and Hulu and give it to their customers, but they'll pay wholesale prices for it.
Yeah.
And then Disney could count those numbers to up their subscribers. Well, they just did it again.
Oops, they did it again. So we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. Guys, yeah, woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
So walk me through this.
Here, I'll go out to the Variety article here first. Okay, they said Disney DirectTV reached deal ending 2-week blackout of ESPN, ABC, and it encompasses new streaming options because that's what this is about. Like when they're worried about, they're saying about the end of cable and the end of satellite TV. Disney, I think, is one of the big causes of that. So it's just basically, to me, it's like when you have the people, they make you dig your own grave before they shoot you and put it in it. It's
right.
kind of like that. And they just did it. So what were we going to say?
Disney makes DirectTV. That would be a great headline. Disney makes DirectTV dig its own grave.
I'm just saying, I mean, they worked out an agreement for some channels to be like a la carte and stuff. We're going to talk about it. But it's also tied to them offering Disney Plus and Hulu and ESPN Plus.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing all over again. This is the second time now. So there's a pattern of behavior.
Yeah, and this has actually come up before, and this actually came up, I think, with the is it Fubo? Fubu?
Yeah, and they're like got an injunction against venue.
I can't keep these. We got Hulu, we've got Tubi, we've got Fubo, we've got
Fubo.
We're just gonna, like I said, we're just gonna come up with a bullshit name for a
Fubo. I can't remember what's what. It's just so many different things.
Hoodoo. That's gonna be the Star Wars. Disney Star Wars 24-hour streaming.
Fubo, yeah, it's not
streaming.
Fubo.
Oh my God.
I never can remember. There's so many, and I don't understand. Like people, you're so dumb because you call it the wrong name. It's like, do you know how many fucking names I have to keep track of with these articles?
They all sound like baby names. It's like gibberish. It's like poo poo and caca are taking a market share for the streamers, and they've got the Coco Melon on it and the Blippy. I watched the Blippy on the poo poo caca channel. My kids, it's got lots of watch time. Join the reef. Go to clownfish-.com. That's clownfish-.com. You will get exclusive access to podcasts and videos and comic strips and more, as well as merch discounts. Check it out. If you were a member, you could get this t-shirt, this dismal t-shirt, on our website. You'd get a 10% discount on that. You can also join in the community on clownfish-.com. Thank you so much for the support. On with the video.
Yeah, it's just nuts. So this one, yeah, they got their stuff turned back on, but it isn't as easy as that. And I joked with you. I said they're going to push Disney Plus through on this. You watch, and that's exactly what they did. It was so predictable.
Oh yeah, and that's how they're going to boost their numbers.
Yes, they have 11. They have 11 million subscribers to DirectTV, and not everyone's going to get these, but everyone's going to get Venue Sports when it releases. It's going to be included. So they're going to, when it releases, it's going to automatically have 11 million subscribers right from the get-go, just from this one deal. And we have other carriage disputes going to be coming up with other companies. They already had Spectrum Charter, whatever it's called. And then they had DirectTV. And there's other ones that they're going to have deals with that are going to come up. And I bet you money it's going to end up with a blackout until they agree to carry Disney streaming services.
Yeah.
Because they're doing them a favor.
Oh yeah, we're doing you a favor, guys. Yeah, and I mean they can. This is what's going to happen. The studios and the tech companies are going to have all the power, and linear cable's dying anyway. Because I mean, what are you going to do? You have to play ball with them, or because if they don't have the sports or whatever, people are going to cancel DirectTV and they're going to go watch Hulu. They're going to get Hulu or something.
Or ESPN.
Or ESPN. You know what I'm saying? Because they get that with it. So if it's sports and it comes down to sports, a lot of times it comes down to kids entertainment. They're going to go where that is. So yeah, Disney does in that case. They do kind of have the high ground.
Disney has the debate. They had the debate on ABC.
ABC. That's a whole other. That's a whole other thing. They have the award
shows because the Emmys are this weekend. They have the award shows on ABC. They have all the sports ownership, which is why even some of the people in government were saying that the DOJ needed to look into them. And other people were suing them for, antitrust issues because they control all this stuff and then they're leveraging it to their own, benefit. So what happened was 2 weeks ago, it went dark on DirectTV because they didn't have an agreement in place. But now they have a truce. They announced a preliminary agreement in a new deal that will restore ESPN, ABC, FX, Freeform, Disney Channel, Nat Geo, et cetera, et cetera.
And who watches most of most of these channels are nobody watches Freeform. You can't tell me Freeform has a massive audience, but they're going to make you take it, right?
Yeah. Well, they said the companies reached a deal ahead of the full day of college football on Saturday and then on the primetime Emmys on Sunday, which are ABC and ESPN for football and ABC for the Emmys. So they said that DirecTV said Disney's full linear suite of networks is being restored to satellite, DirecTV stream, and UVerse customers. But they're still finalizing a multi-year. This is tentative, okay?
Right.
So the new agreement's going to give DirecTV the right to offer multiple genre-specific options. So one of the things DirecTV complained about and other people complained about is the fact that Disney would try to make you take more channels than you wanted, and it would cost too much money for people. And they wanted some smaller, less expensive bundles. They had more choices to give people, so they would be more likely to come to DirecTV. Because otherwise, they're going to just go buy Disney Plus and all that.
Yep.
And it's going to put these places out of business. So I guess they made a deal with Disney that they can offer more genre specific. Like you could offer a sports package, a family package, that kind of stuff, But they said it's going to be inclusive of Disney's linear networks along with Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Yeah, I mean they're basically just extorting these cable providers and satellite
to make
providers.
Them carry their streaming services because then they're going to turn around and they're going to go to these at wholesale prices. They're not losing, guys. They're not losing no matter what people tell you.
Yeah.
They sell it at wholesale prices and then they turn around and go to advertisers and say, oh, look, we have 11 million more subscribers. So that's going to give us a lot more money because it's not the ad free. These are going to be the ad supported tiers. So they're going to make way more money in the long run with all these customers, even though those customers are getting it for free. So they're going to use it. They're going to get way more money from Disney. Disney's get way more money than what their regular cost would be by the time you figure in the ads and all that shit.
Yeah.
They come out far, far ahead. Plus, they could take this 11 million subs and then say to, the investors, oh, look, we went up a bunch of subs. And this right before the end of the quarter, too.
Yeah, it's just like
the fiscal year.
Them having their fire sale.
Yeah, $1.99.
Yeah, this is all about boosting their numbers. Now, some people will know what the numbers are, but they're not reporting the numbers like they were before, are they?
No, they do give you a basic overview,
idea.
But they don't they used to break things down a lot more.
And notice how they're doing it, guys. They're not saying Disney Plus is profitable. They're rolling all of streaming.
They're saying their streaming service is profitable.
And I think that's why they paid so much for Hulu. I mean, they had to anyway, but I think they were like, yeah, we can just add this. It's like the Borg Collective. We can just add this and then say all of it is very profitable. But I would love to see a breakdown of is Disney Plus profitable? What shows did you create specifically for Disney Plus? But then we're seeing them spread it out anyway. Like they took Ms. Marvel and they put it on Freeform and then they put it on Hulu or something. You know what I'm saying? So they're trying to say, oh, well, we basically took the cost of this show and we spread it across 3 or 4 different platforms. So we can say, okay, it didn't cost Disney Plus $100 million. It cost Freeform $25 million and ABC $25 million. And you know what I'm saying? That's how they'll do some creative bookkeeping for it.
Yeah. So this new agreement's going to offer that. And then they said that DirecTV will also be able to offer these with select packages as well under a wholesale agreement. So they can also sell them as add-ons or whatever. The one is for a la carte basis. So basically it's going to be included with some of their packages. And then they could, if you don't get it with yours because it's at low or bare bones, you can add it for, an upcharge. So they said that, and then this got me. DirecTV also has the rights to distribute Disney's upcoming ESPN flagship direct-to-consumer service, which is expected in 2025 launch at no additional cost to DirecTV customers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that direct-to-consumer ESPN flagship is going to be that venue, sports.
It is very appropriate to compare this to making somebody dig their own grave, and then you shoot them in the back of the head when they're done.
Then their joint statement was,
Yeah.
Through the first of its kind collaboration, DirecTV and Disney are giving customers the ability to tailor their video experience through more flexible options, which is good for the consumers. I mean, it's good for you, the consumer. I'm just telling you why they're agreeing to it, why they're doing it. But it works for the consumer's benefit. It's going to be a better deal for the consumers. So yay to you, but in the end, Disney's still going to win. DirecTV and Disney have a long-standing history of connecting consumers to the best entertainment, and this agreement furthers that commitment by recognizing both the tremendous value of Disney's content and the evolving preferences of DirecTV customers, which basically means that they want Disney's content. We'd like to thank all affected viewers for their patience and are pleased to restore Disney's entire portfolio of networks in time for college football and the Emmy Awards this weekend. So they're saying that this is like a temporary resolution. They don't have it finalized yet, but they had to haggle the terms, and they said they have more than 11 million satellite and streaming customers.
Right.
And they're mad because they missed a lot of stuff, and now they get it back. But I guess they made a price hike announcement and stuff. But this is the same thing that they did with the other, like Spectrum Charter.
Yep.
It's a Charter Spectrum. I never know which one it is. It's the same kind of thing. They're just doing this because they said DirecTV wanted to offer skinny bundles to be more price competitive with streaming services. All right. They wanted to be more price competitive streaming services because you can't, they're charging like $80, $100 some dollars a month plus to use your DirecTV. Streaming services are a hell of a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So they're literally digging their own grave.
Yeah, and this is going to happen. Like, and it's weird because you've got, a couple of studios that, like Disney, that are kind of in the tech world too. That I think, I'm not going to say they're too big to fail. I think they absolutely could and will blow themselves up someday. But I do think that it's possible Apple could swoop in and buy up Disney. But I think we're going to have tech companies basically running everything. I think they're going to be running, obviously TV, because now you need the internet to watch TV, right? This is like, what was the purpose of DirecTV? You're not, because they have satellites for some people, but now you can buy it online too. So it's just another streaming service.
It is another streaming thing. And then they said, but then, in addition, this is back to that Charter Communications.
Yeah.
Back to Charter. They said that, since Disney made this deal, Charter made deals with Warner Brothers Discovery's Max and Paramount Plus also to offer it to their customers. So again, you're just a middleman upcharging when people can go directly to these places. Why they need you? They
don't. It's buying time. So this has happened before. Remember long distance phone calls? Do you remember long distance phone calls?
I do remember long distance phone calls.
They
were very expensive.
They were very expensive. And then along came cell phones eventually, and there were, roaming charges or whatever. But eventually long distance phone calls got phased out. But there was a whole market for a while where you could choose your long distance provider. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. Like in the 90s? Because like if you had AT&T or something, you had to pay them. And then they're like, oh, wait, guys, they deregulated. So now you can choose your own long distance provider. And I think mine was like, I had like AT&T for phone and like Windstream or something. I forget what it was, but it was a little bit cheaper. But it was basically just these companies trying to buy time because they knew eventually there was no reason for long distance.
When we started with Skype and places like, where you can do video calls and stuff like that,
was the end of it.
Internet, and like people were using chat and stuff on the internet, that just pretty much killed it.
Well,
a lot of people don't even remember, wait, what's long distance?
Yeah, we had to explain this to the kids. Like, yeah, believe it or not, when your mom and I talked to each other on the phone, sometimes we'd rack up a couple $100 in charges.
Mostly it was my cell phone bill, but yes.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it was like the reason I didn't call my family much when I lived on the East Coast and they lived on the West Coast was because I was poor and I knew the phone bill just to talk to them for an hour was going to be like, $50, $60 or something. And it was ridiculous. And that whole thing has been phased out. But yeah, I remember I got Skype pretty much as soon as it came out. And I was like, oh my God, this is great. I can call anybody and it doesn't cost anything. Just my $14 a month or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just going to happen here. Eventually, we're not going to need cable at all because even DirecTV is turning into a streaming, service. So what's the point?
And why do you need them?
You don't.
Other than being a hub for all these other services. You know what I mean? That's what Charter's become. And it's like, but you're paying a middleman. You know what I mean? You could probably buy them all individually and it'd be cheaper. I don't know. Disney's just using it to cash in. And so it's changing the landscape. When they keep seeing this article after article about how, it's scary because, the landscape's changing in regards to this. It's because Disney started this shit. and they just won again. And you're going to see it happen again and again and again. I'm telling you now, it's going to keep coming up. Oh, there's another carriage dispute. And you know what? And I don't know the details of the dispute, but it wouldn't surprise me if Disney wouldn't deliberately be ridiculous to cause the blackout, so then they can be like, oh, but we'll give you all these streaming channels now, and then they grow themselves, they grow their advertising base, they come out ahead. They wouldn't do it out of the goodness of their heart to make sure these customers had this deal. They wanted more money.
Yeah.
DirectTV said no, and then they work out this other deal where DirectTV is going to get all this other stuff, like, oh, look, it's a win. It's a win for Disney.
Yes.
Contrary to what people say when Disney lost, they didn't lose, which I've been saying. And they're doing it again. If they lost, why would they do it again?
Yeah, the mouse never loses, right?
Exactly.
So, are we going to wrap this up?
Yes.
Let's wrap this up, guys. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.